Hi, this is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com, and today I have with me the Motorola Click 2 for T-Mobile USA. This upgraded version of the Click features a better display, faster processor, and a host of other new features. It's available now for $99.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate card. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. There's the phone itself. Looks like the back's not on. SIM card was placed in there already. Just turn this over. It's talking about Moto Blur. You have to use a Moto Blur account with this. Got some manuals in here. Start guide. Wired stereo headphones. The call button on it. Here's the battery. I believe that's 1420 milliamp hours. This one says 1390. I think the specs call for 1420. Anyway, it's good for about 13 days of standby or just over 7 hours of talk time, according to T-Mobile and Motorola. Here is the compact Motorola charger that works with this micro USB cable, or you can use the cable, of course, with a PC. Micro USB connector there. And here is the back cover of the device with a soft touch ridged paint scheme. So here's the Click itself. I'm going to power it up while we're talking about it here. I've got a new larger 3.7 inch display. The original Click had a 3.1 inch. This is 3.7 inches, and it's 480 by 854 pixels, so really a nice quality display like you would see in the Droid or something like that. Touch sensitive buttons down at the bottom. Of course, the power button and the 3.5mm headphone jack up top. On the left hand edge we've got the uncovered micro USB port, and on the right hand edge we've got, looks like a silent button just like on the original Click, and volume control, and then there's a camera shutter button as well. Nothing too much to see on the bottom except for the pry point for the rear cover. So you can see the included 2 gig micro SD card there, SIM, and the battery, of course. If I put this back on, we'll take a look at the 5 megapixel camera. It's got a dual LED flash there. We'll take a look at that later as well. It's a soft touch feel, feels pretty good. And of course, the main feature of this device is the keyboard, and the keyboard on the Click 2 is a little controversial just because of its design or look. The letters and numbering are nice and contrasty, easy to see. The keys actually have a good feel, but they have these oddball shapes along the side, and this weird web pattern. It looks like it's off of the ass side of Spider-Man's costume or something. Very strange looking, but actually works quite well when you get down to it, so we'll forgive it that. So here's a look at the Click 2 with the original Click. You can see devices are about the same size. Click 2 is 3 millimeters longer, 2 millimeters wider, and a millimeter thinner than the original. So very comparable in terms of size, in spite of the fact that there's a 3.7 inch display on the Click 2 and only a 3.1 inch display on the original. You will notice the lack of a D-pad on the keyboard though. But for those couple of millimeters the size, you get a much better display, much more processing power, and an overall better experience. So let's unlock the device, take a look around. It's the home screen. And swipe here, you can see we've got 7 home screen panels to work with. With the Moto Blur widgets, everything's filling in here, with things like weather, calendar information, Twitter updates, new text messages. And to start off with, we're going to go into the messaging system just so you can see what it looks like. This is Motorola's messaging app, and it has a universal inbox that shows you everything that's coming in from all your email accounts with the exception of Gmail. So right here we've got a new text message, then there's Gmail messages and AIM messages. Now I said Gmail only because I configured a Gmail account in the standard email client just so I'd get into the universal inbox. If you use the regular Gmail client, like I said before, it's not going to be integrated here. Go into text messaging in particular just so you can see the threaded nature of it. Shows the contact photo up top, and then colored text bubbles, and you can always get to the individual text if you need to see it. Here's the AIM account I have set up, and I'll show you the Gmail account I set up here as well, just because I know there's a particular message I can show you. Some formatted text, just give you an idea what everything looks like. Test document will download. Right now we're on a Wi-Fi connection. It supports 3G data, of course. And you notice a little vibrating there when it was done. Means we can open it up, register later, and QuickWord is going to load the document. There it is. Let's see if we have multi-touch zooming. We do. A little bit slow, but it's working. And of course, you can use it in landscape mode as well. We can jump into the Gmail client so you can see how it differs. Completely different look here. Here's that same message. It has the threaded conversation look and everything. It comes across quite differently. Jump into the web browser and we'll take a look and see how it comes across here. The Click2 has a 1 gigahertz CPU, so it should be pretty decent here. There are bookmarks. Since we're in landscape mode, it's this scrollable view. If we go into portrait mode, it turns into a more traditional look. Here's the mobile version of MobileBurn coming up right now. There's a brief saying that the Click2 is available today. And I'm going to go into the bookmark I have saved as Flash Demo. Click through the ad. And right now I have the plugin set to be used on demand. So right now no Flash is running, but as soon as I tap on that, it will enable Flash, and you'll see everything in Flash come up, including the banner and the YouTube video here. And here's the video. In general, I find the browser to be a bit sluggish. It has multi-touch zooming and double tap intelligent zooming and everything. It just seems to not track the finger very well when you're panning and scrolling, like it's overly taxed in spite of the fact that it's a 1 gigahertz processor. I'll show you the intelligent zooming here when it finishes loading the page. Reflows the text so everything fits in general, but it sometimes seems to miss the mark a bit. And notice I had to pan over in order to see it. So it's a decent browser, it's just not a perfect browser for some reason.